Understanding pain is a thing that I really want to talk about. It's a topic that I don't think many people really talk about as much or that I never really see. And understanding pain, the first thing I would love to say about understanding it is accepting it. Accepting the fact that pain is necessary. I really hated the concept of pain. I hated everything to do with pain, especially growing up and even now, right? Like, why is something painful? I cut myself earlier today at work by accident. Um, I was working and, my hand had cut against this, like, you know how you have the saran wrap and it had brushed against that. And it was a very fresh saran wrap and it just, cut my hand or whatever. It is what it is, right? I work at a restaurant, by the way. I'm a cook, chef, whatever you want to call it. And um, I cut my hand on there and I was like, dang, like, it hurt, but, obviously, just put some alcohol on it, slap a band-aid on it, wipe it off, slap a band-aid on it, and you're fine. Right. And that right there, for some reason, that minuscule thing helped me understand something that I couldn't understand for the last 6 months of my life. It's that pain, although it may hurt in the moment, it is necessary for growth. It's necessary for understanding. It's necessary for knowledge. It's necessary for everything. Because without pain, without the feeling or knowing of struggling or pain or whatever, it's everything is just going to seem so relaxed. Like it's almost like it's no punishment for anything, or it's almost like it's no motivation for anything. Pain is the biggest motivator I've ever seen. It's also some of the most depressing things that I've ever seen. Right? People sometimes go through pain that's so unbearable that they can't stand to even live anymore. And sometimes pain is something that is so ridiculous that it causes people to make the most amount of money or be the most successful that they are in life. It just goes to show you how you look at pain and understand the value of it. Sharing a small story with myself about this around 6 months ago, back in November, of last year, I got into, I was in a relationship and it ended around that time. And I was very heartbroken about the situation. Now, I didn't do the most right, but at the same time, I did. And I can very much say to myself now, looking back, I really did love that person. And I gave them my all, honestly. I just had a lot wrong with myself as well. And I didn't understand how to, and honestly, I didn't understand that there was something really wrong with me until afterwards, right? And now looking back on that, I'm like, I wish I was a better man in that situation. But at the same time, it's something that really hurt me. So with the pain of having this, right? Like what happened with all that pain? It motivated me to go back to start doing TikToks again. And I did TikTok relentlessly for 3 months straight. Just relentless in pursuit. Like it was, bro, it was so crazy how I would come home from work. Like, I'll work a full shift, like full 10, 12 hour shift. I would come home and just work on videos, everything, editing, everything for 3 straight months. It actually got to a point to where now I am now coming back to content creation. I burnt myself out though so much in that small amount of time. And one of the main, reasons or contributors to that was the fact that I was motivated to be the best person I possibly can be and to honestly, and I'm gonna be honest with it, I'm not gonna lie or sugarcoat it. I wanted to stunt on this girl so bad. I wanted to just be like, yeah, this white, like this, like you left me and this is how I feel about it. And I hate you and I hate the fact of what happened and everything. So I just started gunning. Like I just started gunning for success in the most possible, like in the most ridiculous way as possible. And I did all of this, and even after getting the success that I'm monetized on TikTok, I done made money from TikTok. I even I have two videos with like a million plus views, and I was mad during all of that. Let me like clarify something for you that does not get said enough. Even through my successes, right, or what you would consider my successes, I was mad. I was legitimately angry. Like I was angry, bro. Like that's how I don't think y'all understand. That's how upset and that is the position I was in life. That's how much pain was on me, right? I done did a video, it got over a million views, and I'm mad about it. Not so much about me, the video getting over a million views. I'm mad as in like my every like you think that somebody that just did that would be proud of themselves. I was still not proud of myself. I still wanted more. I still wanted to do more and everything. And not really accepting the fact that man, I just made something that is liked and loved by a lot of people. And not just accepting that and accepting the fact that it's something that, you know, I can champion as, oh man, I make people like I made somebody like go either watch this or look at this anime like the way that it is anime content. But I made somebody, they buy just this content. And I'm not realizing. I'm just still going on the fact of, oh man, I'm so angry and I'm so mad and everything else. And I never really got a chance to be proud of myself or even give myself a round of applause about that situation. And my mom is one of my biggest, excuse me, my mom is one of my biggest supporters or fans or anything like that you would like to say. She really is. And I completely love that woman. So she's like, man, you need to relax. Like, you're good. Like, I would go to my mom a lot, especially around this time after the relationship and everything about my feelings and stuff like that because I really don't have anybody to talk to about how I feel, and I just thank the Lord I have a parent who is very understanding and has been through situations in her life to where she can understand how I feel. And like why I honestly feel like I'm never gonna even find somebody to marry, or I'm not gonna find somebody to be my wife or anything like that or anything. And I'm so busy looking at, and I was too busy looking at those things and not understanding that the pain, the singleness, everything that I'm supposed to be feeling right now is for a reason. I think that the singleness factor is so weird, yo. And I was just talking to a dude earlier today. He's engaged to be married, and I'm single. And I was like, man, you wanna know something? And he said, "Yeah, I gotta last like I got like a few more months of just being a free man." You know what I'm saying? And I'm sitting there laughing. I'm like, "Yeah, I understand where he's like where he's coming from because he means it all in good faith. Like, I don't believe he's cheating on his woman or anything like that. But he said it in good faith, like just a joke. Like, but I was like, man, you want to know something? Most single people wish they were in your position, and most people in your position wish you was in my position." And he looked at me and was like, "Yeah, yeah, most people do." Because it's weird how all of it is. Like we wish for like I wish that I had a wife or I had a girl or I had like, a family or something like that. But whole time, you know, if I get that, would I wish that I didn't have that? And I honestly don't know. So right now, I'm wishing that I stay the way that I am and I get to do as much as I possibly can do before that season of having all of those things. But at the same time, I still don't even see myself even having a wife or kids or anything like that right now because of I believe just the position I'm looking in life as from myself. Like, but yeah, kind of rambling right now. getting back on topic with the whole understanding of pain thing, and pain is just super necessary for all of that because it teaches you the one valuable skill that nothing else will teach you, and that is how it feels to lose, or how it feels to be hurt, or how failure, in quotation marks, feel. Failure is just a very consistent word that we all like to use when we don't match up to the expectations of others or even ourselves in some cases. But the expectations are held to a worldly standard of what we've already known or seen. So just because we're not the biggest streamer in the world, or just because we don't have the most viewers in the world, or just because we don't have the most money in the world, we consider ourselves failing just because we're not this, or just because we didn't make it to that. That's failing to us. Any major progress is like, you're getting there, but anything lower than that is you're failing. And it feels awful, man. Like honestly, it feels awful, um, because that is the way that we have put like a stamp on our society with, is the concept of failing is this, or this is failing, or that is failing. The whole time we're just living. Life is about progression anyway. The more that you live, the more that you progress, because that's what life is. Yeah, you can just sit there and mope around and stop and put a halt to your progression. But life is still progression no matter what. It's just you're getting older. Like, oh, getting older does not mean you're, yeah, of course you're losing time, but it's also progressing you through life, right? So either you can go with the progression and get older and build something with that, or you can just sit there in the same and just stop your progression, right? But all life is, just progression. And pain is very necessary to understand that, sometimes it can halt progression and seem like it sets it back. It seems like it just pushes everything backwards, and it can end up spiraling into where you don't want to progress anymore, or you don't want to live anymore. But like I said, pain also can be the biggest multiplier to that progression that you've ever seen. It just all depends on how you look at it and how you want to view it or take it. So, with that being said, guys, please understand that pain is something that is very necessary for your progression in life. And I hope that you keep progressing in life as these hard times, or anything that seems painful to you, if you're going through a heartbreak, if you're going through a lesson in life, if you're going through just a rough patch, losing jobs, trying to find a job, whatever it is in life, understand that that pain of not having money, or that pain of not having somebody to accept you or love you, or that pain of, you know, just being, not feeling like you're doing enough, being a failure, whatever it is, just know that that pain is never going to last that long. And the only way to truly get out of pain is just continue to progress your life in the direction that you need to progress it in.